Well, guess what? We're gonna give you a black conservative perspective ourselves and play the video my man was reacting to. The whole video. Whole video? Yep, the whole video.
To be with you. Unfortunately, it's a very sad period, but what makes you feel good is I met so many of the homeowners, and every one of them, a lot of them, and every one of them said to me they want to rebuild. I said, will you go elsewhere? No, 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 no. It wasn't even like a question. They love the area. They love the people. It's like a family. It's incredible, actually, when you see some things like that. We just left North Carolina, and we had just a similar type of disaster. It was water instead of fire, but boy, that water did damage like I've never seen before. And then you come here and you see this. But the people are so amazing, and your fire department was so beautiful. Every one of them is in perfect physical shape. I said, what do you guys do? They have very high standards, I could tell you. And we took pictures with all of them, but very nicely they gave us a little helmet. And I said, you wear this, huh? Is this real? And they said, yeah. I said, it's awfully heavy. You have to be very strong to wear that. But that's the original, right? So it's pretty good. But I just want to thank everybody. We're going to be with you. Your governor met us at the plane, and we had a good talk, very, very positive talk. We have to work together to get this really worked out. I don't think you can realize how rough it is, how devastating it is until you see it. I didn't realize. I mean, I saw a lot of bad things on television, but the extent of it, the size of it, we flew over it in a helicopter. We flew to a few of the areas, and it is devastation. It's incredible. It's really an incineration. Even some of the chimneys came down, okay? When you have the chimney.
Largest fire in LA's history as far as acreage affected and damage done.
I mean, bro, we're talking about, here's the craziest thing, though. I feel bad for these people, even though they're the wealthy
most
class.
of them. It has affected some lower economic communities.
So yeah, but here's the thing, though. People try to disregard the whole premise of the fire just because, it affected the rich. Oh, that's what they deserve. It's like, bro, come on, bro. What's wrong with y'all?
Lives have still been lost. People have still been displaced.
Like, people got to start over completely. I'm just like, bro.
Completely insensitive.
Like, dog, I don't care, like, who you are. Like, average man or millionaire, if your house burned to the ground and you're crying about it, I'm gonna feel bad for you. I'm gonna be like, damn, bro.
It's compassion, bro. It's compassion. Everybody could stand to have some in this situation, for real.
Well, you can always buy another one, but his family belongings were in there.
Bro, people said they lost heirlooms.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's what I'm saying. People really don't see, I mean, the rich is regular people sometimes.
Sick.
He's come down. You know, that's pretty hot stuff, and a lot of them were down. That was a bad sign, too. But I just want to commiserate, and we're going to celebrate. We'll be back to celebrate one day soon, I hope soon. The federal government standing behind you, 100%. The First Lady and I are in California to express a great love for the people of California. I've had great support always in California. We did very well recently, as you know, relatively speaking, at least I can say. And it's been amazing. I have property in California, not too far away, actually, right up the road in Palos Verdes.
Trump, where doesn't Trump have property at?
Facts.
Boy, I can see Trump having property in every state in America.
Literally, as he said that, I was like, that doesn't surprise me
at all.
It's a big property, and I've always loved it. I've always loved being here. But we have to grieve for the 28 Californians who have tragically perished, and sadly, you're going to be finding more. And that's going to be very sad because I know people are missing. And when you look at that kind of incineration, you know what's going to happen. You're going to find some more. But with all that we've gone through, I watched your firefighters, and they were really fighting at a big disadvantage. I got to know a lot of them just now, and they're incredible people. They were so happy. They were saying, congratulations, sir. You know, they're thinking about country maybe even before this location that they all love. But I'm pleased to be joined by many of the great California leaders, both Democrat and Republican.
Why Melania Trump looking like Secret Service, though?
No, facts.
Like,
watching over his shoulder and hers.
God, she's over here like, man, what?
I'm barely listening to my husband right now. I'm just making sure ain't no bullshit going on.
What?
And it's an honor to meet some of you I didn't know, but I know every one of you by name. LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger. Thank you, Catherine.
Well, not right
very
next
much.
to Melania. This is the
Mayor Karen Bass.
Yep, mayor right here.
Thank you, Karen. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, the mayor that
Representatives
went on,
Jay
African excursion.
Obernolte.
City burned
Where's
down.
Jay?
Yep.
Jay, hi, Jay. It's been a tough period, Jay, right? Vince Fong, Kevin Kiley, Vince.
This man.
Vince and Kevin, hi. Hi, Vince. A man I know very well. I know him too well, actually. And I say that actually with love because he's actually been a great congressman for a long time, and he's a great leader, and he loves the area as much as anybody, right, Daryl? So Daryl, I say, young Kim, congratulations on an excellent career. I appreciate it.
Yo, we got almost 400 y'all in here, man. Do me a favor. Let's get us to 200 likes. Go ahead and double tap that screen for me at the 3 dots up there in the corner. We appreciate the support, guys. And remember, send any question, comment, or joke. $2 super chatting up. We'll go ahead and post it to the top of the screen. Just like my man AJ. Shout out AJ.
And help us hit our goal, guys, to open up that conspiracy hour and the call-in show. We're about 42 super chats away. So go ahead and super chat, show support, and help us reach our goal.
Let's go.
Another one I know pretty well is, to put it mildly, is Tom McClintock. And he's been with us for a long time. We have some interesting things going on in Washington. And it's an honor that you guys are here. Thank you, Daryl, very much, Tom. George Whitesides. Good, George. It's a great name, too, by the way. Brad Sherman. Oh, I know Brad well. I know Brad, but that's all right. We're on the same side of this one. I know that. We'll work together, Brad, very well. A lot of respect. And Presidential Envoy Rick Grinnell, who's done a fantastic job for me over the years. He was ambassador to Germany, and he was fantastic. So 2.5 weeks ago, over 100-mile-an-hour winds transformed the Palisades fire and other areas, too, into absolute infernos of death and destruction. And this is already the most expensive natural disaster, they say, in American history. That's pretty amazing. The numbers are going to be staggering. Most importantly, we have to get it built, and we have to hopefully find as few people as possible. We have already too many, 28 at least, they say. We're going to work very hard with the mayor, the governor, the supervisor, and everybody, and get the resources behind you. We have some amazing people, and we have some amazing fighters for things like this. I also had the concept of getting some of the best developers in the country. I've had so many calls from developers, and they want to come in. They don't want anything. They just want to come in and help, and they really know how to get things done and get things.
And shout out Jorge Cabrera, $2. I just got an MS-13 gangbanger deported. Hashtag blessed. Oh,
hey, mom,
shit.
man, hold on, bro. That's a celebration.
Oh,
Let's go. He said, look, man.
keeping the streets and the community safer, man. Shout out Jorge Cabrera, man.
He said, bro, who needs
FBI, open up!
when you got that man right
Doing
there?
the Lord's work.
My man.
My man just embodied Tom Homan and said, "You're going back home."
Things built. I would ask that the local officials, because we're going to essentially waive all federal permits. We're going to have you go very quickly because a federal permit can take 10 years. We're not going to do that. We don't want to take 10 days. I would. So we're declaring this a national emergency. By doing that, I can give you immediate permits. I'd ask that the local permitting process be the same. Some of the people were saying they're going to be forced to wait 18 months for their permits. And I don't think you're going to do that. I can't imagine that. So they are literally in a position right now. They'd like to start tonight, and they'll clean their site. They'll do everything. They just want to start. And they were very concerned with the 18 months. So I'm sure you can get it down to, I would say, not even 18 days. They are ready, Mayor. They are ready to start. I met so many of them. The fire took place. It's nice and cool there now, and they want to start taking the debris. They want to take the debris. They want to do everything. They'll get rid of everything. They're going to do it by their own hand. And you're going to see some amazing things happen. So we're waiving the federal permits. Either waive them or give them to you so rapidly it's going to be essentially the same thing, but we're going to try and just waive them, and we'll rely on the local. But the local, I hope, is going to do the same exact thing. They're literally ready to start right away tonight. So if you could do almost the same thing or the same thing would be great. For a building permit, you're going to have to, check things out a little bit. A lot of them, every single one of them said they're going to rebuild. I didn't have one person say they're selling or they're leaving or they're disgusted. They love their community, and it's incredible. We even had one from your neck of the woods, right?
You'd be very surprised how community-oriented people are. Like, low-key, there'd be people who would rather just rebuild their home all over again than to leave their community that they grew up in. Friends and family, kids go to school here. They didn't have
memories.
Yeah, best years of their life.
Shit,
bro, some people just be like, bro, I'd rather try to rebuild the whole damn neighborhood than to leave this shit.
Some people would rather die than leave the neighborhood they grew up in and have all these mememories in. So
yeah,
I can understand it. A lot of people don't want to move. It's not even an option for them.
Man, it's tough.
Aww. You want to stand up? It was so nice the way you. She greeted my wife in a very different language, right? And it was very nice to see. And you're staying and you're going to rebuild and everything else. Yeah, everybody. So it's really great. So I'm signing an executive order to open up the pumps and valves in the north. We want to get that water pouring down here as quickly as possible and let hundreds of millions of gallons of water flow down into Southern California. And that'll be a big benefit to you. If you don't want it, you're going to tell me, but I can't imagine it. I tell you who does like it is the fire department. When I said that, they were very happy with that. They didn't mind hearing that. But we have a lot of water that is available. And I hope you can work that out among yourselves. But I think this will show that we have to have that water. We have to have that water. You're talking about unlimited water coming up from the Pacific Northwest, even coming up from parts of Canada. And it pours down naturally. It has for a million years. It pours down. You'll never run out. You'll never have shortages, and you won't have things like this. And when you do, you'll have a lot of water to put it out. So I'm going to ask that you figure that out. But I really strongly recommended this 7 years ago, and I think I'm going to just do it. If you have big problems, you're going to let me know, but I just can't even imagine it. But we're also surging federal resources and assistance to the state. And California must adopt the common sense policies to prevent fires. And we all know that. We were talking 7 or 8 years ago, I was talking to people from Austria, people from Finland, people that live in forests. One of the gentlemen, one of the top great leaders of Austria said, we don't have forest fires, and we have trees that are actually far more flammable than they have in California, but they literally rake their forests. They take down, if a tree comes down.
And somebody was trying to tell me, oh, what you mean they take away all the dead leaves and that's going to make the moors more flammable? And I'm just like, bro, all right. What is the real thing going on here? Do the forests need to get cleaned up? Does we need to take all the dead grass off there so it's not highly flammable?
It's called debrushing.
Debrushing. All right, cool. So is that what we need to do to make this shit solved? Because it sounds pretty goddamn easy. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm actually upset if it's that easy.
It's been that and some other negligent management done by city officials. That combined with the water bill that he refused to sign, Newsom.
Yeah, and he letting the reservoir drain out just because it had a little floating lid and some bird poop in it. I'm like, bro, it's meant to put out fires. Nobody's drinking this, okay?
Spray it with whatever water you had, brother.
Bro, it don't matter. As long as you ain't put oil in there or something.
They take it down. They say you have 18 months. After that, it's like a matchstick. And I know some environmental groups like the trees to just melt into the ground. But when they do melt into the ground, they become an inferno. So I think you're going to have to change your ways in terms of that. You have 30 years of leaves, and those leaves are dry as a bone, and they burn.
And shout out Jesse, Los Angelinos for Trump. Yes, we exist.
Hey,
No, I mean, really? Not Los Angeles.
LA Hispanic, I'm assuming. LA Hispanic is what it sounded like.
What if that's an actual city? I don't know.
You know, interestingly, because I was at Paradise, who is the general, right?
Is it an actual city? All right. Yeah.
Long time ago, I was at Paradise. What a beautiful paradise it
Shout out, Jesse.
was. And how is it doing, by the way? Are they rebuilding, right? Remember when he said, you were up here, President. I went there. I never saw anything like it. But you know what amazed me? I'll never forget it. The trees were okay because the trees are loaded with water. They sucked that water out of the ground. And this was an inferno, just like, I would say no different than this. And it was also the wind that caused a lot of problem. I mean, you had tremendous winds that there's not a lot you're going to do with. You had up to 100-mile-an-hour winds. It's unheard of. But when I was in Paradise, I noticed that the trees, they were dark on the bottom, but they were absolutely living, and they lived because they're soaking wet. But the trees that were on the ground, within 12 to 18 months, they say 18 months at a maximum, you have to cut them up, take them away.
I just want to give a quick update on the LA fires, guys. Most of these fires that have branched out in the greater LA area are reaching containment, some with over 70% containment. And there are rains expected to finally hit Southern California this weekend.
Perfect.
So that should help subside some of the raging fires that have destroyed people's homes and livelihoods. But yes, hopefully these rains will be a little reprieve, small reprieve.
You know what though? In this whole situation, why don't I just see Gavin Newsom and like the mayor of LA with just watching the fires go on from a very safe place, just like this?
Horny bitch detective.
Oh, well,
the helicopter literally surveilling the city.
Literally, as it burns, just sitting there together, just.
Because they're matchsticks. But we saw that. You saw that with me. I commented at the time. I said, look at this. The house is burned down and the tree is standing, and it's, other than being a little different color on the bottom, and it went through an inferno. It's amazing. It's soaking wet. So I think they have to do it. It's called management of the floor. And when the gentleman from Austria and also Finland and other countries, they said we manage the forest floor very, very carefully, and we don't have forest fires. You know, they just don't have them. So I'm sure you're going to do the same thing. So there can be no golden age without the Golden State. It's a great state. It's a fantastic place, and we're going to have a big celebration soon. We're going to come back, and we'll come back as much as you need, and we're going to turn it around, and we're going to open the coffers. You know, America wants us to be taken care of. This was a horrible thing to watch, and the way it just kept going and going, and then they'd find another area. It was like genius. On the other side, the fire was a genius, the way it kept moving, but we're not going to stand for it. I just met with the Olympic people, and they're all set to do a real job. So we have the Olympics, and I got them. You know, it was very interesting. I made the deal with the Olympics. I was called by your former mayor, and he said, would you call the Olympics? Because I must tell you, the Democrats, as you know, were not calling. They wouldn't do it. I don't know, there was a bad experience somehow. And I did, and I got along great with the Olympic Committee, and we got the Olympics, and then we got you the World Cup. That one I focused on with Gianni.
I mean, think about it. We set the city up for greatness. Like, bro, y'all supposed to hold the Olympics and the World Cup. And y'all might have effed that one up. Y'all might have effed it up. I mean, let's be real, though. It seems like the only time LA does want to clean up is when they're hosting a special guest or a special event.
And LA should be the most suitable place for a suitable environment for an event like that. I mean, the city's large enough, has the band there, has the status to host that type of event. But think about what the condition LA's been in.
Is it safe, though?
Nope. No, sirree, Bob.
So I designate that we move the new LA to Miami.
Yeah, honestly.
Yep.
Olympics.
I mean, but then we're trading forest fires for hurricanes. You feel me?
I'm not even gonna lie. At this point, just put it in Dubai.
I'm done. Nah, gotta be American.
Shit.
Maybe we're not ready.
Gianni was great, the head of it. And
Until we
so you have
clean
that
up
coming.
on that.
And then we have the 250 years coming up, which is going to be a great celebration. But I'll never forget when I got the Olympics and then I was president when I got them. I said, oh boy, it's too bad I won't be president. Who knew this was going to happen, right? I said, I won't be president because it would have been the 4 years. And in fact, I'd be retired by 4 days right now, I guess, right? So anyway, so I got him, and at least I'll be able to celebrate the Olympics, the World Cup, and the 250 years is going to be a very big deal. So we have the three biggest there are, and it was an honor to get. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you have a statement to make, I'd love to have politically, if you'd like to make a statement. Brad, go ahead.
Mr. President.
Okay, I'll do
Mr. President, thank you
Sure.
for coming
Thank you, Brett.
to the 32nd Congressional District and
Thank you.
making feel. Most people don't have adequate insurance because they couldn't get it. So one company dropped 1,600 policies just in the last 6 months. We've got 16 times as much property damage here as from Hawaii. And I'm hoping that we get at least 16 times the federal appropriation for the CDBG program that helps people rebuild. And I know you've talked about policies of California that you're not a fan of.
Yeah, it better be a fun for the people to rebuild their houses. I know that.
The Community Development
but
Block Grant, a federal program that provides grants to communities to address development needs.
So the Community Development Block Grant. Huh.
Yep.
What? Well, damn, why don't we got that?
I guess something to be used in place of natural disasters or times of need.
Why isn't that like a community thing? That could be clutch for a community as well. But hey, that's something for community leaders to talk about.
I've been in Congress for 28 years. I really disagree with Louisiana on their abortion policy. I disagree with them on their campaign finance policy. I disagree with North Dakota on their gun policy. And I would never turn to somebody from Louisiana and say, you keep living on your cousin's couch, because we're not going to help you rebuild until Louisiana agrees with me on a woman's right to choose. So I'm hoping that we can get these funds and that we don't punish individuals for the policies of their state. You can disagree with them, and I think you've got some ideas. I look forward to us listening. Also on tariffs, I often agree with you on tariffs, but how about no tariffs on building materials for the next 3 years?
Well, we'll take a look at that, actually.
Mr. President.
Mayor, please.
Yeah, I'm weak though. I like where he's going with that. He's like, I ain't gonna lie, dog. We might have our hands held like with that. Because I hear his point is like, bro, you can't put no tariffs on building materials, bro. We need that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, and I'm kind of mad this man even fucking said it, because now he didn't put us in a vulnerable position. He didn't let us know that he didn't put out a weakness to the world.
Just about, honestly.
It really is like, oh, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Please don't do that. We need it. It's like,
come on,
dude. Hold your damn composure, bro.
I know somebody from his campus looking like this.
Fuck, it's like, bro,
damn it.
Of course we need it. Of course, but don't tell the world we need it.
Just pulled our goddamn card. You exposed us.
Ah, man.
Yes. First of all, let me just take the opportunity to officially welcome you to Los Angeles. Really appreciate you coming, and especially you come just a few days after your inauguration. So I want you to know that your presence here is very much appreciated. Let me also say that I know you had an opportunity to see the devastation. You've seen the extreme loss, the grief that people are going through here. And we are 100% committed to getting this neighborhood rebuilt again. You mentioned a couple of things in terms of us expediting. So I signed executive directives right away so that we could cut the red tape. We could get people back building as fast as possible. And we're going to continue doing that.
Yeah, the one thing is they are saying they will not be allowed to start for 18 months.
No, that will not be the case.
Okay, I just hope
That
you're
will
right.
not, you can hold me to it.
There's 4 groups said that.
No.
That would be
4 groups already. Hey, I love it. Trump
I
is
love how he came in and checked her on that.
It's like, sweetheart, you're not just gonna tell me what I want to hear. It's like, I done heard it from the other side already that y'all acting crazy. You just told these people
that y'all have this red tape up, that they're gonna be 18 months before they can start.
And you're over here, it's lying to me in my face, talking about, oh yeah, we done took the red tapes down. They're free to go like today. Well, if I was Trump, I'd be like, oh, I'm about to call my people. I'm gonna ask them if they can go today, okay? And you call your people, and because my people say no, you better call your people and tell them yeah.
Yeah, and I love how Trump called her out on that, like on platform. Like, don't forget, this is the same mayor that while the LA fires were raging on, she was on like a African expedition, a tour of Africa,
an African safari,
like on a little vacation. Like as the city burnt down, as they needed her leadership and oversight, she over here partying in Africa.
And I'm not sure if this is true, but I've been hearing it a lot that she said she wasn't going to go out the country, that they're going to stop doing that because it was actually getting caught up on that. Like, why are political leaders taking taxpayer money and having a great time out the country, not in their state or in their city where they're supposed to be supervising?
That, along with the timing of it all.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me you picked right now? Like, I don't care if you had that scheduled out months in advance. Once you seen the city was on fire, baby, you should have canceled the flights.
Bro, it's actually as soon as you seen that, bro, the fire department told you that. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, the whole city's a fire hazard. You should be like, yeah, African trip canceled. I gotta go do some real work.
They should be able to do it. They should be able to start tonight.
That will not be the case. First we have to take care to make sure that there's not getting rid of the hazardous waste, cleaning things up so that people can start right away. And just like you said, if somebody had their house was destroyed and they're going to rebuild essentially the same, maybe a little bit longer, a little bit higher, they really shouldn't have to go through much of a process. So I want you to know that we are expediting that. We absolutely need your help. We need the federal help.
You got it. I told you, you will have no permit problem. There will be zero delay. And as far as I'm concerned, you already have the permits.
And the resources.
I am more worried because I met at least 8 groups of homeowners, and I'm much more worried about the fact that they said it's 18 months exactly, and they were devastated. They want to start now. They want to start removing things. They're not allowed to do it now. And you mentioned hazardous waste. Well, the hazardous waste. What's hazardous waste? I mean, you're going to have to define that. We're going to go through a whole series of questions on determining.
I love this pushback that Trump is giving the mayor, because the citizens of LA should be watching this very closely, very intricately. This is what your mayor would stand for. Your mayor doesn't care about the city, but the president does. He's coming in and challenging the mayor, telling them like, nah, y'all need to remove that red tape. Y'all need to let these people remove, fix their housing right now. Don't give me that 18 months bullshit. Don't give me that hazardous waste bullshit right now. I'm giving you this pushback on the platform for everybody to see. I love it.
Yep. And for them Democrats that's out there, I ain't gonna lie.
Why are you running
from this conversation, low key? And shout out to Trump, because I ain't gonna lie, some people are actually gonna come up here and talk about their experience, talk about what's really going on the streets of LA.
I love to see it.
I mean, what's hazardous?
Nope.
I just think you have to allow the people to go on their site and start the process tonight.
And we will.
Okay, good.
You can come back and check.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I'm Congressmember Judy Chu, and I represent the areas of Altadena and Pasadena.
Yes.
That's the Eaton fire. And there is a world of hurt there. I know that you've gone to the Palisades and you've seen the devastation,
right,
but it's apocalyptic in Altadena. And thank goodness I have a partner with Supervisor Catherine Barger in working to help people get back to normal and to rebuild. But right now they have nothing. And there have been 9,500 structures burned. Most of the deaths have occurred in our area at the Eaton fire. And thousands of people are without homes. And these are working people. These are working class people. They are people like Dr. Jackie Jacobs.
Yo, we got close to 700 of y'all in here, man. Go ahead and double tap that screen to like the video. Hit the 3 dots up there in the corner. Appreciate the support. You can send any question, joke, comment, $2 and up, and we'll go ahead and read it out loud and post it to the top of the chat, man. Appreciate the support.
Who was an educator all her life, and then finally became the first Black administrator of her educational institution, Pasadena City College, and then retired, now 88 years old, and then her home of 30 years burned in Altadena.
Yeah.
She has nothing. She left with only the clothes on her back. She has nothing. And so they need this help. And I just want to make sure that you remember the people in Altadena and Pasadena, and that you can come there and see how terrible the devastation has been there so that they can get the help that they need.
Just remember one thing, and I like the way you express yourself beautifully, actually, but
I'm weak. Well, Joe Schmo came in with the AOC 2028 to all 700 in here.
I'm weak.
LGF, hashtag LGF.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, my bad. LFG. Sorry. LFG, which is
Let's fucking go.
let's fucking go. Oh, really?
I've only been here 3 days, and I'll do a great job. But we had another president, and this took place during the life of another president, not me. But I'm going to be the president that's going to help you fix it, because he would not have been able to help you fix it. Okay, so we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it, and we'll work closely. Yeah, we'll work closely, and I know your community was really devastated, incredibly. So we understand that. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, I'm just going to follow up. Supervisor
Yes, please, go ahead.
Katzenberger, and I also represent Altadena. And what I tell people is, people of Altadena are the exact people you talked to when you were running. You've got individuals from every walk of life, and it is actually at one time was the only place African Americans could purchase homes. It was redlined, and so you've got a lot of generational wealth there. And one of the commitments I've made, and we've had meetings with some of your people in HUD that you've got there now, to work with them and work with your administration to see how we can help. And I've been pleasantly surprised. I know on HUD we've got some asks that we are going to be working with you on. But more importantly, I just really want to emphasize what Congresswoman Chu said, and that is that these are individuals who are feeling forgotten. And what I tell them is, and when we invited you out here, I told, when I went to the AME church, this president was talking to you when he was running. You understand the difficulty in making ends meet. You understand the high cost of living. And now their biggest fear is that that's going to impact their ability to rebuild. And I have made them this commitment, because this is my last term, that for the next 4 years, you talk about 18 months, I've told our county staff that if you're going to get in the way, then get another job. Because we are an all hands on deck. And quite frankly, if the bureaucracy.
Hey, no, I like it. I like her attitude. She said, look, man, get in line. Y'all need to step aside, bro. I was like, oh, hold on. You said that, like, everybody that she's talking to is in there. Oh, shit. I like her attitude.
Because he can't get out of the way, we'll just roll over it. And we've said that, we've made it clear.
I love it.
The governor's waived CEQA, which I feel should be completely reformed, if not eliminated. And if it's being eliminated for this.
How are they doing with CEQA?
How are they doing?
How is it? What's been the attitude of the people running that whole situation?
It adds sometimes years on.
And guys, we are 39 super chats away from opening the call-in line and running Conspiracy Hour. We appreciate the support, guys. Let's keep it going. So $2 and up to have any question, comments, or jokes right out loud, and post it to the top of the chat. And $10 for every music and video suggestion.
Double tap that screen, guys.
Onto an application.
Can't do it.
No, and the governor's
and Coastal Commission also.
He waived that.
We're going to have to override the Coastal Commission, because I've dealt with the Coastal Commission for a long time, and they are considered the most difficult in the entire country. And we cannot have them play their games and wait 10 years to give somebody a permit. In fact, I'm going to override the Coastal Commission. I'm not going to let them get away with their antics.
Well,
okay. Thank you, Bill.
Mr. President, I just want to thank you for your leadership on California water policy. You made it a priority from day one. For those of us in the Central Valley and Northern California, we have catastrophic wildfires as well. California is a wildfire-prone area, so ensuring reliable, stable water supplies is critical. And so your leadership, your executive order, moving more water, maximizing flows throughout the state of California, building more water storage, more conveyance, coordinating.
It would have a great impact on, I know your area very well. It would have an unbelievable impact on your area.
Absolutely. We just want to thank you for making it a priority.
You know, even beyond the fire stuff, the farms. I was driving up with congressmen a few years ago because they were complaining they had no water. And I was driving up, and you'll see all of this incredible land, but it's absolutely bone dry. And then you'll see little green patches, and the green patches are so beautiful. You know, they have that land. They say it's as good as Iowa farmland, but it has no water. and it's artificial, has no water. They send the water out into the Pacific Ocean. And when we let that water come through your valleys and down to Los Angeles and everything, you're going to have a different place. It's going to be a whole different place. And you guys have to get together and say, gee, we want it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So at least you said that, and I appreciate it. Because your farmers will be able to, instead of having 1 acre out of 100, which is all they have, they'll be able to have 100 acres out of 100. And it's among the best. They say it's the best farmland just about in the country, as good as any place there is. So, but you can't, it's no good without water. So that's beyond the fire stuff. But today we're talking about fire. But it's good for everything. So I hope you can lead a group. And Daryl, if you can lead a group, I know how you feel. And, you know, support what I'm doing, because what I'm doing, I guess, is controversial. I don't know what's controversial about sending millions and millions of gallons of beautiful fresh water from the Pacific Northwest and further up than even that into an area that's bone dry. We have to, you know, I have a house in Beverly Hills, and you get notices every once in a while. They want you to go down to 38 gallons per person or something, per house, per person. I say, you mean you can only have, you know, 38 gallons sounds like a lot. It's not a lot. And they want to do that every once in a while, and you just think it's ridiculous when you have like just about as much water as anybody in the country, and we shouldn't be in a position where you have tumbleweed that's dry as a bone. That even tumbleweed can be nice and green and rich and loaded up with water, and it's not going to burn. You don't even have to remove it. It's not going to burn, but it's just dry. So I hope you can all get together and say, I'm so happy with the water that's going to be flowing down, because I just don't see anything. They talk about the Delta smelt, which is a fish that's this big, but it is really not, doesn't have to be protected because it's in other areas. It's in numerous other areas. So it doesn't have to be protected. The people of California have to be protected.
Mr. President, could I just speak for a moment?
Kevin Kiley, California.
Yes.
First of all, you're absolutely right about the Coastal Commission. I've introduced legislation to rein them in. We've been talking with Rick about this.
They're out of control.
Absolutely out of control. It's insane the things they've been getting away with.
I think they thrive on it, actually, if you don't know the truth. It's so ridiculous.
That's right. They even tried to stop SpaceX from launching rockets. It's just
That's true.
But you mentioned your predecessor and how he didn't fix the situation, which is absolutely right. Not only that, during the Calder fire, which was a few years ago, which was in my district, 600 people lost their homes in a town called Grizzly Flat. He came and he promised that he would help them out, but he broke that promise many times. He never delivered them the individual assistance they were asking for. So this has underscored for me the importance of helping the victims, making sure in this situation, in every fire, we get money to the victims, and we make sure that, that nothing stands in the way of that. But I just want to thank you for your focus on bringing sanity to California, water and fire policy. There's no place that needs a revolution in common sense quite like California.
You have so much water. Use it and be happy about it.
Mr. President,
be happy.
Mr. President, my name is Joel Pollack, and I am a journalist with Breitbart News, but I happen to live in the Pacific Palisades, as do other colleagues. One colleague, John Kahn, wrote the song Fighter, which you played at your campaign rallies. He lost his house and the studio he wrote that song in. We were lucky because I was able to fight the fire on my fence. But when I got to my house, there was no water in the pipes.
Right.
So I got inside and I picked up the flower vases because I give my wife flowers every week, and there was water there, and we started with that. Then I found my son's bucket of baseballs, and I dumped the baseballs on the ground, and I used the bucket. But there was still no water except for the water in the gutter coming from the burnt homes uphill. So I went to and fro to my gutter and my fence with my bucket. 2 guys showed up in a truck, 2 neighbors. We found 2 more buckets, bucket after bucket after bucket. Many of my neighbors, including some here, tried to fight the fires. They couldn't. We were lucky our house was saved. But we should not have to rely on buckets to put out a fire.
That's right.
You can't stop an 80-mile-per-hour wind or 100-mile-per-hour wind, but there were many things that went wrong here that are basic and small. We did not have traffic police to guide the evacuation, so there was gridlock on Sunset. They've removed the vehicles now, but there were
And we got close to 900 y'all in here, man. Do us a favor and double tap that screen and like the video. We appreciate the support. And you can support the show by sending any question, comments, or joke in the super chat, $2 and up. We'll go ahead and read it out loud and place it to the top of the screen. And any video or music requests, $10 and up. Appreciate the support, guys. Let's keep it going.
Dozens of vehicles that were abandoned by drivers who fled for their lives because there were no traffic cops available. The fire department wasn't pre-deployed, even though there was an extreme wind event coming. And many of my neighbors lost their fire insurance in the days before the blaze. So I asked my neighbors, what would they want to know if I could ask the president a question? And the number one thing was insurance. Can you work with the insurance companies to get people back to where they were before they lost the coverage because of California's regulations? And can you make California change its rules so that when we build again, we can get fire insurance and we don't have to worry? And there's one other point I want to make. I really appreciate my congressman advocating